Hi, I'm Fran Titchener of the History Department. I came to USU in 1987, and I've worked under 5 presidents, 8 deans, going on my 4th department head. So I've seen a lot of good and bad days over the years here at Utah State. In my 2nd year as a young teacher, in September of 1988, I learned something about teaching and students and importance when one day my students were not paying any attention to me, oddly, and I could not figure out why, and finally one of them told me that this was the day the first shuttle launch was going since the Challenger exploded, and that this was of tremendous significance to them. All their families worked at Thiokol. Half of them did too. Their families had been struggling for years since the explosion, and this was going to be the first time the shuttle went off. I was teaching this class in the Student Center. We all went down and watched it together. And I've thought back on that more than once in terms of what mattered to learn that day and what was important. That kind of spirit of USU students I've seen elsewhere over the years. Our classic students every year would decorate the history office in the most astonishing way for the holidays. Anybody who's ever seen it knows what I'm talking about. Same student enthusiasm imbues our annual event to bring alumni back, coming back to classics. And there we see the most astonishing costumes as our students reenact late Roman history. Costumes, they bring families, they spend the weekend with us. It's wonderful, and it will be again. Students cannot be stopped when they're motivated and engaged. That hasn't changed, and I don't think it will. But really, my purpose now is I want to talk about my colleagues a little bit. Again, since '87. Over the years, with some of my colleagues, here's some things I've done. I've played cards. I've ice skated on frozen Merlin Olsen Pond. I've jammed on the piano with other musicians, including a hot accordionist. I've traveled quite a bit in the US and Europe. Taken metalworking classes. Played sports, golf, and squash. That was quite a while ago, but still. I've dined, sung, and danced with some of my colleagues. I've attended weddings and funerals. I've laughed and cried. I've mourned and rejoiced. And I know that time's going to come again. My colleagues, you know who you are, and I take this opportunity to thank you. I know we will all rejoice together again.